Monitor light bars are a useful little accessory that you can add to almost any desk setup, whether that's a crazy multi-monitor setup or a lone laptop on your desk. It's a great way to add some extra light to your setup while keeping your desk clutter-free, clean and minimal looking. There's quite a lot of light bars out there, some are more expensive than others, but the majority of them are based off a few key features, and it's a relatively simple concept. It's a USB powered LED strip that sits on the top of your monitor. It allows for focus lighting to shine down onto your desktop without giving a glare effect on your monitor screen. They add just a little bit of extra light into your desk to help reduce eye strain when you're working at your desk. Today we're going to be taking a look at this one from Quntis, who were kind enough to send this out to me to check out. So if after this video you feel like it could be a worthwhile addition to your workspace, I'll have a link for you in the description down below to pick one up. So let's take a little bit of a closer look at this light bar. The first thing that you'll notice is just how clean it looks. The matte black design should fit pretty well into any workspace that you add this to. There's just a small logo on the left side, and I like that a lot. The whole point of these light bars is to add ambient lighting without really causing a major change to the look of your desk space, and it does that quite well. On the top of the light bar, this is where we have all of the controls for the light. And that's another good thing about this light bar. I've seen similar products out there with the controls integrated into the cable, and I think that just adds a little bit of extra hassle that you don't need. Having the controls on the light right there above you within arm's reach is a much better option in my opinion. So I try and stay away from these light bars with the controls integrated into the cable. On these controls we have power, brightness, temperature and an auto dimming button. So like I've just mentioned, you're able to change the lighting temperature. You can go for that cooler, brighter white, which is more suited for daytime working, and a warmer white, which is a bit softer on your eyes, and I find myself using this during the night time. As for the brightness of the bar, I think it's actually pretty decent. At its max, it's definitely sufficient. I think any brighter and it'd be a little bit overwhelming. And at its lower setting, it still provides adequate lighting to the desk space below. Also, like I mentioned earlier on, this doesn't add any glare to your screen. The way that the LEDs are set up inside the bar, they're angled in a way that makes the light shine slightly in front of your screen and more down onto your desktop towards you. So one of the last things that I did want to mention about the screen bar was the build quality. The light bar itself is solid. I don't have any complaints about that. But arguably one of the most important parts of any of these light bars is the mechanism that holds it up on your monitor. For this Quntis one, it's a fairly basic clamping system and I think that it does the job well enough. I think if you have a thicker or curved monitor, it may be a little bit tricky to get it in place, but once you do, it should hold well enough. I have a bezel-less display and I was a little bit worried that it may cause damage to the screen, but after getting it out and playing with the clamp a little bit, it doesn't seem that it's strong enough that it would cause any damage to your screen. Once it's on there and it's plugged in, I didn't really notice any wobble from the light bar when I was typing or moving my mouse on the desk or moving things around on the desk. The only time that it's got a little bit of wobble to it is when you're pushing the buttons, but does that bother me? Not at all. So at the moment this light bar is around £45 on Amazon, and to me that's totally worth it. There's definitely cheaper options out there and there's definitely more expensive options out there, but this one sits right in the middle. It offers pretty much the same features as the more expensive ones, but at a fraction of the cost. I think it would only be worthwhile looking at these more expensive ones if you're really worried about that clamping system. Some of the more expensive ones don't really use clamps, they have a more balanced weighted system on the back that holds it on top of the screen. So if you're really worried about that or you don't think that the clamp would fit on your monitor, it may be worthwhile looking into one of them. But like I said, this is a fairly simple concept. It's a light that goes on the top of your screen. There's not too much else to say about it. This is solidly built, it's clean, it's minimal, and it does the job perfectly. If you're interested, I do have links for you down in the description below, and if you've got any questions about it, ask them down below. And that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one.